there are going to be times when you do an activity, a task, you're doing it in a group or you're doing it amongst peers where you're not going to be the best at it. As a matter of fact, there might be times when you might feel like you're the worst at it. And when those moments happen, and it's your first time doing something, or it's something that you haven't done very often, and you're in a group setting or doing it by yourself, and you're not feeling that you're doing it as well as others do it, it can feel like you're alone. You can feel disheartened. You can feel like you're behind. And in those moments, you might start asking yourself questions like, why am I not good at this? Why can't I do it as well as others do it? And in these moments, there are three things that I want you to remember. And those three things are: one, it's okay to not be good at something that you've never done before or you haven't done very many times before. Two, you can get better at anything that you focus on doing and repeat over and over again. Three, you don't ever need to compare yourself to anyone else. You just need to compare yourself to you. There are things that you're going to be good at that others are not as good at. And there are other things that other people are good at that you might not be as good at right now. But that doesn't mean that they'll always be better than you at it. It just means that your skill set, your abilities are where they are at the moment. And it's a single moment in time. And that can change. And what it takes to get better at something is simply repetition and reflection. So imagine if you did the activity 100 more times that you think you're not good at, or you did the activity or task 1,000 more times that you feel that you're not good at today. What would you become? And what would that skill look like in you if you did that? Two examples I'll give and I'll share are: imagine if you said to yourself, I'm not great at running a mile now, but every single day for the next 100 days, you ran a mile every day. What would happen to that mile? What would your time difference be? How would you physically change? Your body would adjust and you would get better at running the mile. Or let's say writing. If you said, I'm not a good writer at this moment. If you wrote a paragraph every single day for 100 days, how would your writing skills improve? What would you learn about yourself? How much faster would you get at it? How much clearer would your writing become? And again, that's 100 days. Imagine if you did it and repeated it 1,000 times over. That task, that event, that skill set, that exercise, you'd be in a pretty good place. The second part of getting better at something is reflecting on it. Is while you're doing the repetitions, take time to think about how and what is it that I can do to make an incremental improvement over yesterday or how I'm currently doing it. Just one little thing that you want to try to do differently. By just trying and reflecting on things that you can try to do differently, you'll see additional jumps in your improvement, in that skill, in that activity that you are trying to get better at. And once you get into a rhythm of thinking this way, whenever it is that you come across something that you're not good at initially, or that you're doing for the very first time, or that you're doing in a group setting and you're feeling like, I'm in last place in this group when it comes to this thing, remember takes repetition. And if you add a little bit of reflection to your repetition, you will get better at it. And you need not compare yourself to anyone else. Just get better than you were yesterday. And the last thing that I'll share is to remember to have compassion. Remember to have compassion for others as you see during different activities, events, and things that you do, someone else who is struggling or maybe sort of towards the back of the group in terms of that skill, talent, or task, and make sure to encourage them, make sure to share with them that wisdom that they can get better at this task, event, or thing, that it only takes some repetition and a little bit of reflection, and they soon too will be much better at it, and that they can keep their head up regardless of how they're performing that thing today, because tomorrow, the day after, the week after, the year after, they'll be better at it. All right. Have a loving day today.